training is over, the dieting is done. Ripped and pumped and ready to rumble, the world's best bodybuilders hit the stage tonight. It's the 16th annual Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic with Dexter, Jay, Chris, Gunther, and the Governor. More than 50,000 people make their way each year to Columbus, Ohio for Arnold Fitness Weekend. 11,000 athletes participating in a host of competitions from fencing to martial arts, gymnastics, powerlifting, ballroom dancing, and yes, bodybuilding. This is live, a sellout crowd inside Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Columbus, Ohio. The evening begins with the presentation of colors and our national anthem. Here is the Arnold Classic Veteran Stage MC, Clint Richards.
National anthem, a resident of Columbus, and international opera star, David Templeton.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam, God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2004 Arnold Classic. On stage tonight are the premier bodybuilding athletes in the world. And here are the men competing for one of the most prestigious honors in bodybuilding. Competitor number 1, Dexter Jackson. Number 2, Gunther Schlierkamp. Number 3, Jay Cutler. Number 4, Chris Cormier. Number 5, Mustafa Mohammed. Number 6, Ernie Taylor. Number 7, King Kamali. Number 8, Gustavo Badel. Number 9, Marcus Rule. Number 10, Ahmad Haidar. Number 11, Craig Titus. Number 12, Greg Kovacs. Number 13, Robert Ciccarillo. These are our competitors for this evening's competition. One of these men will be the 2004 champion of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic.
Let's give all of your athletes a big round of applause.
How about a form? Thank you, gentlemen.
The Arnold Classic Live, brought to you by Flex and Muscle and Fitness magazines. For more details, be sure to visit flexonline.com or muscle-fitness.com. Good evening, I'm Joe Amato. I'll call the 16th Arnold Classic. When he was 13, he told his parents he wanted to be the best built man in the world. His parents, so the story goes, started looking for the best psychiatrist in Austria. Many years later, Arnold is the embodiment of the American dream, and we don't call him Arnold anymore. It's Governor Schwarzenegger, and I suspect there are a few more exciting chapters and titles still to come. I'm joined on our coverage by six-time Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates of Birmingham, England. Hi, Dorian. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much for having me here.
It's great to be here with you. And let's talk about some of the top guys in the show, Jay Cutler, Chris Cormier, and Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, Dexter caused a surprise last year by winning the GNC show over Jay, and he won the Ironman last week, a couple of weeks ago. So his heart really now is always coming in shape. Chris has dropped out of sight a little bit. He didn't do the Olympia last year, and I think he's been doing his homework because he's also looking in great shape, very big, very hard. So Jay's got a battle on his hand. I think it's going to be between those three.
Looking forward to it?
I am, yeah. It makes a difference to be on this side.
You bet. And the third member of our broadcast team is the noted bodybuilding journalist from Ironman magazine, Mr. Lonnie Teeper will be backstage tonight. And let's take a look at Lonnie. Lonnie, how did you get on this broadcast?
Well, I don't know. I saw this buff guy walking down the street. He says, "You want to go to a bodybuilding contest tonight?" And I said, "Sure." Here I am with Jay Cutler. Won the Arnold Classic in 2003. 2002 winner as well. Are you going to go for a three-peat?
I predicted a three-peat, and that's what I here to stand to do today is three-peat and win this contest for the third time consecutively, first time in history.
Now, we've gone through 2 rounds. We have 2 more rounds tonight. You feel comfortable after those first 2 rounds, Jay?
Oh, yeah, I think I put on a good show for these people, and I think the reaction I got from the crowd and through all the media and whatnot, I think it's my show again this year.
Okay, well, wish you the best of luck. Joe, back to you.
Also, we have something very special. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his partner Jim Lorimer have talked for quite a long time about the value of the performance aspect of the sport. With that in mind, tonight, one of these competitors will receive a $10,000 posing routine award. And of course, credit goes to the IFBB because they have altered their posing rules just a little bit. The competitors are allowed to bring props on stage. No humans, no animals. So we should see some pretty exciting things tonight. And judging the posing routine award will not be the IFBB judges. We have a panel of celebrity judges from different aspects of business and performing that will be judging that award. We're very excited, and again, that will happen later in the show. All right, are you ready for our first contestant? Oh, our first contestant has had quite a wonderful streak the last 6 months. Placed first in both the 2003 GNC Show of Strength and the 2004 Ironman Pro Invitational just a couple of weeks ago. Please welcome from Jacksonville, Florida, Dexter Jackson.
Ohio, and our stage is Dexter Jackson, who's coming off his victory at the Ironman last month in California. Dexter was third at the Olympia, first at the Show of Strength, and first, of course, at the Ironman. Of course, Dexter comes into the show hoping to have a big year in 2004, and his trademark is that midsection.
He's in condition all over his body. There's not an ounce of fat or water anywhere on his physique, and there's no real weak points there. If there's any criticism you could make, is that his lats do attach a little high, so his torso does look a little long, but apart from that, no real weak points there. Not as big as some of the guys, but real quality.
What's it like having to go first, Dorian? Good or bad?
I think I'd rather go first, get out there and you know, show your stuff. So, and also Dexter's going to be feeling very confident now coming from the Ironman win.
One of the great things about the Arnold Classic is the stage. It's just it's a beautiful backdrop.
It's a great stage setup. Unfortunately, I never got to compete on the Arnold Classic. But Dexter's looking great. He's always in shape and is slowly putting on size.
Dexter Jackson.
Dexter Jackson walking off stage.
Our next competitor is one of the most popular bodybuilders in the world. He's
more than happy to have
the
gotten
bodybuilding
her
world
first
when
tonight.
he took first in the inaugural GNC Show of Strength.
See the
in
sellout
the year
crowd that
2002.
we have here at the Arnold Classic.
From Pear
Over
Blossom,
5,000
California,
fans packed into the house tonight. We had the
Gunter
Fitness International
Schilierka.
last night. women's bodybuilding. And now coming on stage, making his 2004 debut, is Gunther Schlierkamp. Back at the Arnold for the first time since 2001, where he placed 6th.
So another big crowd favorite. Caused an upset in the GNC when he beat Ronnie Coleman, the reigning Mr. Olympia.
Built for you by the master. Built for you by the master. What is it?
Yeah, dog. What is it?
What is it?
Dude, chill, man.
It is Gunther Schlierkamp.
Gunther, one of the 2 guys in the show who are over 300 pounds. He's just tipping 300.
He is a huge man, 6'2", 300 pounds, and he's in good shape.
Gunther, one of those athletes who was inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger at the age of 13, saw the movie Pumping Iron, and that was it. That's a familiar story.
It certainly is. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger inspired more bodybuilders to take up the sport, obviously, than anyone else.
Gunther was born in Olfen, Germany in 1970. His parents were farmers, and he thanks his mom for his bodybuilding genetics, saying that she is a large-framed, sturdily built German farm woman. I love that.
And he's one of the nicer personalities on the circuit. He's always seems to be in a good mood, always smiling. I don't know how he manages it when he's on a low-calorie diet, but he always does.
Gunther making his big splash a couple of years ago at the Olympia, where even though Ronnie Coleman won the show, I believe Gunther placed 5th that night, and the fans were with him. It's almost like he had stole the show that night. You were there.
He made vast improvements in that one year. He really came ahead, and that was the year when he beat Ronnie Coleman, who was the reigning Mr. Olympia. He beat him in the GNC show that was held after the Mr. Olympia, and that's the only time that a reigning Mr. Olympia has been beaten. Pretty good poser for a guy that's around 300 pounds as well. He moves quite well.
European native, so he's into the classic posing. A classic poser, right?
Not quite as impressive from the back as he is from the front, a little soft from the back. And his structure lets him down a little bit in that his waist and hip structure is a little wide, but he's certainly made up for that in the width of his shoulders.
Gunther Schlierkamp from Germany, the huge fan favorite, and he strolls off stage. What do you like about his physique here?
He looks very hard for a big man of 300 pounds. As I said, maybe a little softer from the back, but he's still in very good condition.
Reigning champion.
Please welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, tonight here live at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. Well, we're off to a great start. We've seen Dexter Jackson, Gunther, and now here is the defending champion Jay Cutler, who's won the show 2 years in a row.
Jay Cutler is the aesthetic warrior.
Great condition, great quads from the front there.
Jay's 2004 debut. How does he compare with the previous Jay Cutlers?
I think he's obviously gone for condition this time. In Olympia was a little softer. He's definitely harder here, but I feel maybe he's sacrificed a little bit of size, especially in the upper chest area. And he could do with being a tad harder in the back, but having said that, it still looks great. It's very hard from the front. Abdominals and thighs are phenomenal from the front. Costurations on the thighs, but still a little bit soft in the back, which may be a genetic thing. Maybe that his back comes in a little later than his upper body.
I called my mother yesterday already, and I said I won.
I recognize that voice.
Little excerpt from Pumpkin Iron, the movie there, I believe.
Jay, the two-time Arnold champion, and in the past 2 years he has beaten Chris Cormier. Chris coming in second. In fact, Chris, who we will see next, as a matter of fact, has been second 4 years in a row. So Jay's feeling the heat. He's got to defend his title run.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure coming there from Chris Cormier and from Dexter. Hasn't quite got the detail in the back there that it does in the front shots.
Jay Cutler making his 2004 debut, looking to defend his title at the Arnold Classic.
He looks confident. I think he's happy with his routine.
And
there is the back shot.
Our next competitor had a great year in 2002. Took first in the Ironman.
Next on stage, what a beautiful stage we have here. Chris Cormier.
Props.
Chris was sick
Ladies
for
and
most of
gentlemen, from Las Vegas,
2003.
Nevada,
Showed
Chris
up for the
Cormier.
Olympia, was not able to do it. Actually worked the television with me that night. So he's been in hiding, they say, trying to get ready for this year.
I've seen a definite change in Chris backstage here. Usually Chris is almost not serious enough. I'm always like getting onto him for not being serious enough. But backstage here, he seemed to be all business. You know, he was not smiling. He was concentrating on what he was doing. And I have a feeling that he's really put some effort into this show, you know.
And the costume, let's watch.
That you come to know will be sacrificed.
The routines of the Arnold always seem more entertaining than the other shows, and now that they're allowed to use props, I think it's going to go another step forward.
Exactly, Dorian. Major development. Athletes allowed to use props and costumes this year.
I love bodybuilding as much as anybody, but sitting out in the show there, it can get pretty boring, you know, seeing people doing the same old things over and over again. So maybe this is going to liven up a little bit.
So you're for it?
I'm for anything that can make it a little bit more entertaining, because basically a lot of the judging goes on in the pre-judging in the morning, so why not let the guys be more entertaining in the evening?
Great point.
Chris certainly looks like he's been doing his homework. Great natural shape and symmetry that Chris has got. Combine that with the thickness and size he's got today, that's a hard physique to beat.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying.
He's been off the last one.
I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they cope, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
I know I hear Lonnie Teeper backstage, but somebody probably mugged him.
I hear him a little bit, but I think somebody's cutting him off for some reason.
We'll try to get back to Lonnie a little bit.
Great abdominal and thigh development there from Chris.
He's looking very, very impressive.
Looks good.
I'd still like to see him just a small percentage harder. That would be unbeatable.
Chris moving into his late 30s now, and wants to tell his grandkids. What were you telling?
Yeah, I keep giving him a hard time because I said you don't want to be sitting there in that rocking chair and just thinking, what if I'd have done this, what if I'd done that? So you need to knuckle down before it's too late. And it looks like he's took that advice to heart, maybe. I don't take credit for it, but he's doing it now.
A guy who came into the sport with so much potential and wants to walk away with a few big titles, at least Chris Cormier. So we're off to a rocking start here at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, the premier event in Arnold Fitness Weekend, a weekend which is all about the healthy, fit lifestyle. And of course, this is the fans' favorite event of the weekend, the Arnold Classic, the 16th. Now we have a relative newcomer to the bodybuilding scene, although he's been around for a while, newcomer I should say to the fans, and that is Mustafa Muhammad, who is 38 years old, a native of Jordan. You know him, Dorian.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of him myself much until last year. He did my show in Holland that I promote, and very, very impressive physique. Full muscle bellies all over, no real weak points. Living in Austria now, but originally from Jordan, I believe.
That's right. Lives in Vienna. Married there. He married a woman from Austria.
Yeah, I asked him if there was anything he would like me to mention while he was on stage in Holland. And he said, please mention my wife and 3 kids are the most important thing to me.
Said he's been bodybuilding for 20 years. Of course, this is his first Arnold Classic and really the biggest show of his life. He was 3rd at the Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah, which he was over the moon with. He qualified for the Mr. Olympia, got an invite to the Arnold Classic, which was his dream. And a nicer guy you couldn't meet.
That's a beautiful shot right there, and his heart must be pumping.
Yeah, he told me he's very, very nervous because this is his first really big show, so you could understand that. But great back, great upper body, huge legs, no real weak points. Could be a little harder, maybe a little bit more size in the calves. Great arm development from the back, yeah.
Mustafa Muhammad, 38 years old, who lives in Vienna, Austria right now. Very, very happy. What about the legs here?
Our next competitor is one of the hardest working men in the sport. In 1995, he took first at the British Championships. In 93, he took second at the NABA
Mustafa Muhammad leaving the stage.
From Birmingham, England,
and he was the 5th of 13 competitors here at the Arnold Classic tonight. Next up is a man that you know very well, Dorian, because he trains at your gym. I understand it's, well, you'll have to tell me about this gym. Ernie told me his stories about your gym. And
yeah, he's been training my gym for a few years. It's not exactly a health club, let's put it that way. Of course, Ernie's known for his outstanding tricep development. And a lot of people are asking, does he have implants in there or something like that? And I can tell you, I saw Ernie in his first contest when he weighed about 180 pounds, and it was all triceps. So it's just a genetic thing that he has unusually large triceps. But he's kind of toned them down a little bit now. I think he's got a lot of criticism and he's been listening to that.
Well, you know, that's unfortunate because that's what a lot of fans, when his name comes up, that's the first thing they say.
Yeah.
You know. And
yeah. Does he have some special something that he's putting in his triceps? Does he have implants in there? I mean, if he did, wouldn't he put it in his calves? Wouldn't that make sense?
Exactly.
Because he still has weak calves, you know.
And he's really one of the great guys on the tour. Ernie is.
Yeah, he's always cheerful and friendly, and we've trained together a few times in the gym. But he likes to train at like 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's not that often that I get up at that time to train.
The next 10 minutes, you're about to experience a live orgasm.
Let's listen to his routine
This
here.
can be addictive and highly contagious. You have been warned.
Run for cover, mother.
Ernie's a fighter on the weekends. Is that right, Dorian?
Yeah, I understand he does some free fighting and so on, and he's been doing Thai boxing since he was a really young kid, and he's kept that up. That's why he has great flexibility. I don't know if he's going to do it today, but in his routine, but he can do the splits. He's brought his front thighs up a lot over the years, but he still needs more size and the hamstrings and possibly the calves to match his huge arm development.
He's kind of got that Hollywood superhero look. So how does he
Yeah,
get it?
he's got like a 29-inch waist when he's in contest shape.
Yeah, great personality. How does this guy move to the top 5? I think the fans would love him. He'd be a great cover boy for all the magazines.
There's some of that flexibility and being displayed there.
Here we go. You gotta love that.
Yeah, the crowd loves it.
Ernie Taylor doing his infamous split.
Now
Here
we're
it comes
cooking.
again one more time for those of you who are faint of heart. Dorian, you did this when you were winning the
All right, we're
all
going to
your
bring to
Mr.
the
Olympia
stage a
contest.
gentleman
I just did it in
who
private,
is
yeah.
absolutely the most dynamic
I couldn't get back up there, that's the
performer
problem.
in the bodybuilding arena. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ernie told me
would you
that he
please
throws
welcome from West
a brick
New York, New
down
Jersey,
the stairway of your gym in the morning to make sure the rats run away before he can work
Ernie's
out.
also, as well as his triceps, also known for his stories.
Next on stage, our 7th competitor tonight is King Kamali, one of the great posers in the sport, always entertaining. Let's kick back and watch King Kamali.
The Terminator has entered Earth's realm. Mission objective, bring down the house, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of perpetrators, but only one originator. Show 'em how it's done, Terminator.
Kamali rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop. Arnold rocks to the planet rock. Don't stop.
There's King, the native of Tehran, Iran, 1999 NPC heavyweight national champion, who says his hobbies are eating, sleeping, and slapping around nerds on the internet.
So special.
Because we come
Not exactly the most popular guy in the sport, Joe. You know, he did a lot of talking when he came on the scene and got himself some publicity, but if you do the talking, you got to be able to back it up.
That was kind of an understatement, Dorian, about not being the most popular guy. I mean,
that's being kind.
Yeah, he walks through the rest of the athletes on the way to the news conferences and on the way to the theater here, and nobody talks to him. I don't think of the 13 guys here, I don't know if he has one friend of the 13.
Initiate launch position.
I think the entertaining routines are a good idea, Joe, but you got to remember to hit some muscle poses somewhere in there as well, rather than just doing all breakdancing.
Ignite glutes.
He made a huge splash when he first came on the scene. It was very, very exciting, and he's an excellent poser.
Yeah, he's in great shape tonight, but I don't think he's advanced that much since he initially came on the scene.
And that's that. Was that enough for you?
I don't think there was a lot of physique poses in there.
There's a look at his biceps.
Yeah, he's still a little weak in the arms and lacking a bit of sweep on the quads.
2 weeks ago, our next competitor did so well, we had to have him on our stage tonight.
King
Ladies and gentlemen, would
Kamali.
you please welcome from Puerto Rico
At the 2004
Gustavo
Arnold
Badel.
Classic. Next on stage is Gustavo Badel from San Juan, Puerto Rico. An excellent story and a great guy, 235 pounds. At the 2003 Olympia, not in the top 20. Third at the Ironman last month, hoping that this will be a huge year for him.
This is the best shape that I've seen him in. I've seen him a couple of times in Europe competing, and impressive shape and pretty good size and everything, but never really hard. But he looks great tonight.
Apparently he's been working with Milo Sarchev, who's been a big help. And
Milos is training a few guys now that he's not so active competing.
oh, he's hard as a rock.
He looks lean and dry from that angle. Always trying to like reserve judgment until you see the back, because a lot of times the guys look good from the front, they're not so good from the back. It's pretty hard from the back as well. Nice three-quarter back shot. Milos has certainly done a good job helping him get into shape. This is the hardest and driest I've ever seen him.
What kind of a relief is it, Dorian, to, after all that work in the gym, to finally get on stage?
Well, if you're looking really good like this guy is, it's a relief. If you're not, it probably isn't.
Did you ever feel like you wanted to go home?
I never was in that situation, Joe.
No, you weren't, I know.
I did my homework. I didn't want to be in that situation.
You certainly did. Six-time Mr. Olympia Dorian Yates here with us. I'm Joe Amato. We're at the Arnold Classic live in Columbus, Ohio. Saturday night, the 6th of March. One of the great shows in all of bodybuilding.
Our next
and we've
competitor
just seen
took
Gustavo
first in the year
Badel.
2000 at the Toronto.
Next up will
He
be
took
Marcus
first at the
Rule,
2002
the German
Night of
giant.
Champions. Listen, the reality is this
We've got a
guy
sellout
is
crowd
huge.
here, all part of
Ladies and
Arnold
gentlemen,
Fitness Weekend,
from
in which there are
Wunstadt,
11,000
Germany,
athletes here
Marcus
competing
Rule.
in cheerleading, gymnastics, martial arts, powerlifting, a bench press challenge. It's like an Olympic village here this weekend, all to promote the healthy and fit lifestyle. Of course, Governor Schwarzenegger is here. He is in the house, and we will be seeing him a bit later on. Now, Marcus Rule, the fan favorite.
He's a monster of a guy.
It all started in 1997 for him when he won the Hessen Championships. That's a great title, the Hessen Championships,
Yeah.
you know? Who wouldn't want to start with that title?
Well, a lot of big guys coming from Germany. Something in the water there.
Call him the German Beast, and the fans love him. What do you think his weight is?
I don't know. It's hard to say, and a lot of times guys claim weights, and they don't weigh that much. But I'd say he's probably around 270 pounds. He's got to be. His upper chest is so big, it's getting into his face, getting away with his face.
Making his 2004 debut, Marcus Rule. How does he compare to the past Marcuses?
I think he looks great, but what's incredible is last year he had a tricep injury which required surgery, so he's come back from that and he's got into probably his best shape ever. He's very big and he's pretty good condition as well. Huge bicep development.
He was right at the top last year here, third at the 2003 Arnold Classic. And the winner of the 2002 Night of Champions, all the New York fans, you know, they were like...
Huge deltoid development.
Fans in New York went crazy for him that night.
He looks like a monster, but in person he's a real gentleman. I'd still like to see him a tad harder, maybe holding a little bit of water in the lower back there.
Mr. Bombastic. We want some bombastic, romantic, fantastic lover.
That's something I didn't think I'd ever see. Marcus Rule shaking his butt.
Is that the German giant shaking his butt? Yeah, those two things.
He's taking lessons from Chris Cormier.
She called me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Put me on me watch, she says I'm Mr. Rule.
Marcus Rule gets a salute from the sellout crowd here at Veterans Memorial Auditorium, Columbus, Ohio. Let's take a look at Marcus's delts here, filling out the stage.
Yeah, huge, wide development. Deltoids and upper chest is amazing.
That's the coast-to-coast look.
Our next
Only
competitor
two of our
always shows up in
first
great shape.
competitors,
Known
first
for
9
his
competitors have
incredible abs.
used
Ladies and
props
gentlemen, now
tonight.
residing in Pompano Beach,
Next
Florida,
we go
please
to
welcome
Ahmed
Ahmad
Aidar from Pompano Beach, Florida. You ran into him down there.
I ran into him in Palm Beach in Florida when I was on vacation.
He trains at the West Palm Beach Powerhouse Gym.
Actually, he was a personal trainer of my girlfriend before I met her, so that's a funny story.
This is his 4th Arnold Classic, 6th in 2002. He's done the Olympia twice, 1998 and 2002. He's 13th at the Olympia in 2002, 35 years old, living in Pompano Beach, Florida, married, 1 daughter, 4-year-old, a native of Lebanon.
pose inspired by Samir Banat, no doubt, who's also from Lebanon, ex-Mr. Olympia. Not the biggest guy on stage, but nice aesthetic development, great abdominals.
The year started right for him. Last month he was 4th at the Ironman, so he'd like to keep that going. Top 5 here, Dorian?
I think it's going to be tough to make the top 5 here. There's so many good physiques here today. And he is one of the smaller guys here, so he's going to find it tough to get in the top 5 here today. Not that he's not in shape, he's in shape, but he could do with a little bit more size to compete with these guys. Very classical poser.
How much time did you spend working on the posing and the posing routine?
I used to spend probably 3 or 4 days a week for like an hour from 10 weeks out, just because posing was not naturally my strong point, and also it helps you a lot if you practice the posing when you get on stage. It's much harder than people realize, standing on stage and tensing every muscle in your body. It takes a hell of a lot out of you if you're not used to it. And you have to try to show your physique to the best advantage. So you have to learn to hit the poses the way that it suits your physique.
If you've ever sat right in the first row, you can hear that air being pumped out.
Yeah, and when those guys get off stage, believe me, they're sweating this, they're breathing like a train.
Here's the defending champion. He's not, I thought he was reading the newspaper. He's just hanging out. He feels like he's done his job.
Second in San Francisco.
Right?
Last year he
Well, he's probably feeling pretty exhausted because the guys have been dieting for months. They've limited their water intake, they're dehydrated.
Jay Cutler hanging out backstage. Next on stage is Craig Titus from Las Vegas, Nevada. All right. Craig, of course, well known for the party after Dorian.
Yeah, he does all the parties, after parties after the major competitions, which is a new thing in the last few years. All the people from the shows getting together and letting their hair down. He's married to Kelly Ryan, top fitness competitor. I think Craig's in pretty good shape tonight. He seems pretty big and full and hard as well.
Hey, Big Daddy, show us your quads.
All of a sudden, he's the Las Vegas showman, too.
Yeah, he's moved out to Vegas a couple of years ago from California, which a lot of bodybuilders seem to be doing now. Ideal weather, a lot of good gyms.
Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. I was on 125 in St. Nick, chilling with this chick named Tom DeLeo.
Craig Titus, another one of the more controversial figures.
Craig's not afraid to say what's on his mind, I guess. And he did have a rivalry thing going there with King Kamali for some time, which, you know, some people like that. They think it's entertaining. gets interest in the sport. I'd rather just get on with the job and show the goods on stage, because that's what counts really.
He's had his various feuds. I haven't been able to document all of them, but it's got to be a distraction to your training.
Well, you know, it's all irrelevant once you get on stage. The physiques do the talking, so I'd rather take any of that energy and put it into the training.
He told an interviewer, I got a few emails from various people saying that it would be nice if I stopped attacking other pros. My answer to them is that if you read what I say in my columns or in my interviews, I do not attack other pros. They're just responses. So
our next competitor
backstage, Joe Weider,
in the
the legend,
NBC Canadian
the
National
man responsible
we are honored to have him here on our
for
stage tonight.
bodybuilding
Would you
itself.
please welcome
Of
from
course,
Toronto,
yeah. I mean,
Canada,
if Joe hadn't
Greg
put the Mr. Olympia
Kovacs.
together and started the prize money in the sport, maybe we'd still be in the old school auditoriums and stuff, you know.
That's right.
And guys are able to make actually a pretty good living from the sport now if they're right at the top.
The man who started it all, of course, Arnold, part of the action too. First spectacular worldwide champion, so to speak, Arnold was. Now Greg Kovacs, 335 pounds.
Well, he's definitely a big man, and he has a, he has a reputation of being the strongest bodybuilder around. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but he's a strong guy. He's a big guy.
From Toronto, Canada, Greg Kovacs, his first big pro show.
Yeah, he did a Night of Champions a few years back, but he dropped out after the prejudge and he wasn't in good shape. He didn't feel well. He's definitely in better shape tonight, but he doesn't have the structure to compete with the top guys in the show. His legs are a little weak compared to his upper body, and he doesn't have the lines of people like Cormier and Dexter Jackson.
Known as one of the strongest bodybuilders in the world.
He does have that reputation, yeah, and I'm sure he's a strong guy. I've seen him in the gym a few times. He's moving some weights around, but that doesn't matter too much when you're on stage. How much you weigh, how much you can lift. It's all about how you look on stage. It's a visual sport. Perhaps Greg Sensen is not doing too well tonight. He seemed to cut that routine pretty short there.
Exactly, that was my thought, that he has left the stage here a bit early.
We have one more competitor in the individual posing routine round.
There's Wayne
He
DeMillia,
took first
chairman
place
of
in
the
the
IFBB
2000
Pro
NBC
Division.
USA Championships.
Talking
Second at
with
the
the defending
2002
champion, Jay Cutler.
IFBB Southwest Pro Cup. Would you please
Wayne
welcome
intricately
from Los
involved in almost
Angeles,
everything in the bodybuilding
California,
world.
Robert
Wayne's a promoter of the Mr. Olympia. He knows all the guys very well.
And our last competitor here tonight at the 2004 Arnold Classic is Bob Ciccarello, now living in Los Angeles, California. It's his first Arnold Classic.
Yeah, Bob, I think he was competing as a long time as an amateur before he made a breakthrough and got into the pro ranks.
Took many years for Bob to become a pro, trying to make 2004 better than 2003. Last month at the Ironman, he was 8th. 2003 had a bad year, did not even make it to the Olympia contest, which he was there in 2002.
I always feel that Bob comes into the show a little bit too soft, and I think that's also the case today. No tremendous weak points in his physique as far as balance goes. He's got a nice balanced physique, but it's just not hard enough to compete at a top pro show. As I said, good size and shape, but a little bit of water and body fat filming over the physique.
Bob moving to California, to Hollywood, and has done a couple of commercials, been in a couple of movies. There's a small role in a Ben Stiller movie coming out this year called Dodgeball.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy, so I'm sure he can get a lot of work.
Those Hollywood looks. He's also joined bodybuilding.com, working with those people, Bob Ciccarello.
Again, a more classical style of posing. I think the music probably been a bit overused over the years. You know, the rocky music. I heard it a few times at bodybuilding shows.
Oh, is that what that is?
You got to try to be original at a show like this, you know.
But a great routine from Bob. The last of our 13 competitors here at the Arnold Classic tonight. Backstage, everybody's just chilling. Dorian, there's Mustafa Muhammad, Chris Cormier.
Great music.
There's Gunther.
You got to try and stay relaxed, keep the stress levels low. I mean, even stress can have an effect on your physique.
How about a big round of applause for all these incredible
All right, let's go out front to the stage, and our veteran MC there, Clint Richards. They've got a Lifetime Achievement Award to present.
Obviously, the judges have a very difficult task ahead of them. They must now score all of these athletes and figure out who are the top 6 finalists, and they will be brought out for round number 4. We have a great tradition here at the Arnold. It is a wonderful thing where we present a Lifetime Achievement Award. I would like to direct your attention to the video screens for a special presentation of the 5th Annual Arnold Classic Lifetime Achievement Award.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic Lifetime Achievement Award, made of Jaska crystal by Joseph Kagerbauer, is presented each year to one person whose life has significantly impacted the world of bodybuilding. In its first year, the award went to Joe Weider. Then in 2001, Reg Park received the prestigious honor. In 2002, the award was presented to Jim Lorimer. Last year, the award went to Frank Zane. And now, in its 5th year, the award is presented to an individual whose life work has been a shining example of the value of physical fitness as a lifestyle. A man whose physique rocked the world of bodybuilding and whose lifelong contributions to weight training and bodybuilding has helped athletes from a variety of sports reach their greatest physical potential. Born in Oregon on October 31st, 1930, William Arnold Pearl began his fascination with bodybuilding at the age of 8. Enamored by the circus strongman, Bill knew immediately that he wanted to be a bodybuilder. A few years later, at age 14, he would buy his first set of weights, sharing the use and cost with 2 other friends. Emulating his hero, Eugen Sandow, often considered the first modern bodybuilder, Bill would devote himself to achieving the physique of the Greek and Roman gods. In Yakima, Washington, Bill was a star wrestler, a member of the track team, and played linebacker and right guard on his high school football team. By graduation in 1950, the Korean War was approaching, and Bill enlisted in the Navy instead of attending college. Bill Pearl met the legendary Leo Stern when the Navy transferred him from Washington to San Diego. Bill immediately began working out in his gym, and in 1952, with Leo's guidance, placed 3rd in the Mr. San Diego contest, his first bodybuilding competition. Inspired by his success, Bill trained harder than ever at every opportunity. 1953 was a monumental year for Bill. He won Mr. Southern California, Mr. California, Mr. America, and the Amateur Mr. Universe titles. Following his big wins, Bill received numerous requests for public appearances, from feature articles to posing exhibitions. In 1954, after 4 years in the Navy, Bill Pearl moved to Sacramento. Equipped with the money he saved from the Navy, his passion, and his desire, Bill opened his own gym and began a 30-year legacy of running gyms in Sacramento and Los Angeles, and nearly 60 years of commitment to teaching and training others. Bill has a talent for inspiring and motivating others, and has been coaching athletes since 1954. Bill has coached more major contest winners than anyone in history, including 10 Mr. Universe titles, 8 Mr. America titles, and 1 Mr. Olympia title. During those years, Bill continued to train and compete. Bill's posing was phenomenal, and his size was unbelievable. He even included classic Sandow poses as part of his routine. Bill Pearl and Reg Park broke away from the old norms of training that were based on powerlifting and the need for strength, and customized exercises that increased muscle growth and definition. Their innovations redefined the world champion physique, setting new standards for the desired look and training methods. Bill Pearl credits Leo Stern with coaching him to win what amounts to an impressive list of bodybuilding competitions. But ultimately, it was the fire of competition that motivated and drove Bill to reach his numerous successes. Bill won the Mr. USA title in 1956 and the Mr. Universe contest in 1961, 1967, and 1971. Shortly following his last competition in 1971, Bill Pearl received many distinguished honors, including induction into a considerable number of Hall of Fames and several Man of the Year awards. You can't open a book on bodybuilding without finding references to Bill Pearl and his many accomplishments in the sport. Exercising his love of bodybuilding and training, his skill in teaching, and his entrepreneurial background, Bill Pearl embarked on the next phase of his career, one in which he would reach thousands of people all over the continent. In 1978, he and his wife Judy set out to create a reference manual for weight training, an idea that helped revolutionize the sport of bodybuilding and weight training, making it available to anyone with determination and desire. In an increasingly fitness-conscious nation, Keys to the Inner Universe, an encyclopedia on weight training, was a natural bestseller. In 1984, his book, Getting Stronger, was published in North America and translated into 3 languages. He also co-wrote Getting in Shape in 1988 and created a step-by-step exercise video in 1990. Married almost 35 years, Bill and his wife Judy live on a 4-acre ranch in Medford, Oregon, where they've lived since 1980. They both continue to work out 6 days a week for 2 hours a day in their home gym, a converted barn behind the house. Through his vast experience with weight training over the years, Bill Pearl has been a monumental advocate for the benefits of weight training and nutrition for athletes of all sports. By consulting specialists in each sport, Bill has helped devise training programs that target the specific muscle groups for each sport. Bill has always said, the key to success is to become totally dedicated to what you want to do and make it a total lifestyle. For over 50 years, Bill Pearl has shared his wisdom, his dedication, and his values with the world of bodybuilding. He is a tireless enthusiast for physical fitness as a lifestyle and continues to promote weight training and nutrition as a versatile and powerful tool to success in sports and life. Tonight, it is with great pleasure that we recognize his passion and perseverance and award this year's Arnold Classic Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. Bill Pearl.
Good evening, everybody. I have the great pleasure today to present to you the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. He is, as you can see on this footage, an extraordinary human being, an outstanding bodybuilder. As a matter of fact, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all times. A man that has inspired millions and millions around the world to train with weights and get healthy. A man that has written endless amount of fitness books. And he is one of my idols. Ladies and gentlemen, bring out Bill Pearl. Big hand for Bill Pearl. Just to show to you Bill, of what a great hero you are to so many people around the world, here's a special letter from Washington, the White House, Washington, February 19th, 2004. Dear Mr. Pearl, Laura and I want to commend you for your great dedication and extraordinary accomplishments in physical fitness. You achieved stardom in your sport, and you went on to write best-selling training books that have encouraged millions. You are the American success story, and we know that your shining example continues to inspire millions of children everywhere. We would like to invite you to be our guest in our house in Washington, where we will extend to you our hospitality and goodwill that you so truly deserve. We look forward to seeing you at your earliest convenience. With gratitude and best wishes, George and Laura Silkowski, the White House Inn in Seattle, Washington. So as you can see.
All right, good. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. So you can see your fans everywhere, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. This is by far the most moving thing that's happened to me in absolutely years, and probably all of my bodybuilding career. I can't thank Jim and Arnold enough for the kindness that they've given me and shown my wife and I over the years. And if anybody deserves this award, believe me, it is not me, Bill Pearl, it's my wife, Judy Pearl. She's put up with me for 40 years, and God knows. Thank you. I will cherish this night until the day that I die. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Isn't Mr. Pearl an incredible, humble man? Isn't he just amazing? How about one more time, Mr. Bill Pearl. All right, I have the results of the judging. I would like to bring out on our stage the top 6 finalists in their numerical order. Please welcome Dexter Jackson. Gunther Schlierkamp. Jay Cutler. Chris Cormier. Marcus Rue. Craig Titus. And now I would like to welcome to the podium for this special pose down round, IFB Vice President and Chairman of the Pro Committee, Mr. Wayne D'Amelia.
Gentlemen, step back a little bit, please. And the judges would like to see Marcus on the other side of Dexter. Marcus, move down to the other side of Dexter.
Joe Amato with Dorian Yates. So, Dorian, it is Marcus Rule, Dexter Jackson,
Feet
Gunther,
together.
Jay Cutler,
Quarter
the defending
turn to the
champion,
right.
Chris Cormier, and Craig Titus. Surprised?
Not really.
Quarter turn
I don't
to
think
the
there's any
right.
surprises there. Not so far, anyway. We could have some later on.
I think the surprises are about to come.
Quarter turn to the right.
Wayne D'Amelia, the chairman of the IFBB Pro Division, calling the athletes now through their paces
Quarter
here.
turn facing front.
And so it's time to sweat now, Dorian.
Front double bicep.
What are you thinking here when you're in that group?
Well, you're just concentrating on hitting the shots, trying to get the best out of every shot. You know, most of the judging's been done, but you still can make a difference. They can be looking at 2 people that are real close here, and they could, you know, get extra point here or there.
Well, let's say you're a judge right now. Here we see Marcus and Dexter Jackson.
2 totally different physiques. You know, one's more aesthetic, one's more huge.
Side chest.
If I was a judge now, I'd be looking at Dexter, Jay Cutler, and Chris Cormier for the top three. Not in that particular order, but they would be the top
Turn to the
three.
rear. One leg back showing the calf.
What are all the compulsories you have to hit right here that they're calling out?
Double
There's
bicep.
7 compulsory poses, and basically that's going to show the whole body. There's nothing you can't hide. In your own posing routine, you can show your physique to your advantage, but these poses expose everything. You can't really hide. You get the front, the back, the side. They're going to go into the back lat spread now. That's going to show that, you know, the difference between the waist and shoulder differential.
And you always felt that the back shot is the make or break.
Side tricep.
It's just that a lot of guys are hard from the front, but now everybody's hard from the back. So when they turn around, you can see who's really in shape. The last places to come in are usually the lower back and the glutes on most people. So if there's anything hiding, that's where it's going to be.
We had a shot of the 12 judges who are right there in the front row.
Abdominal and thigh.
And the IFBB, of course, with their difficult job here.
It is. It's a tough one, you know.
Of course, Jay, as we said, the defending champion, two-time defending champion.
Stay in
Chris
line, stay in line.
has been second here 4 years in a row. That's got to be somewhat frustrating.
You can see changes in the physique during the day, even. You know, from the morning to the evening. I think Chris has
Gentlemen,
improved
relax.
during the day. He looks better tonight than he did in the morning.
I agree.
If the music man's ready, pose down.
And here is the pose down at the 2004 Arnold Classic.
And there's still a chance for the judges to do some judging here. If a couple of guys are really close, this could make the difference.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Please file off, and I'll turn it back over to Clint Richards.
It's a good thing they're oiled up because all that bumping and stuff, boy, I'll tell you. Woo! All right, the judges.
And
all
I'm
of this
Joe
is in your
Motto
hands.
backstage
Next
with
time you see
six-time
those gentlemen
Mr.
on stage, we're
Olympia
going to be giving
Yates
away
and
some
Doran.
money
We've just
and
seen
some
the top
hardware.
6
And speaking
pose
of
down.
money,
What were your impressions there?
these athletes are competing.
I think it's a great lineup, a great top 6, and it's going to be tough for the judges. Well, I'm looking personally between Dexter and Chris for first, and Jay Cunningham in third.
Dexter, of course, winning the Ironman just last month in California. We're going to go backstage now. I believe that Lonnie Teeper, the third member of our crew, is standing by with an interview. Lonnie? All right, so he's not ready just yet. We've got
We have a very special performance for you. One of the most
we're backstage here at the right next to the pump-up room here, and we've got a bunch of guys here who are going to go on stage later on. So that's why you hear the clanging of the weights.
Yeah, there's some big-looking guys back here. There's some huge guys back here.
All right, here's Lonnie.
Here I am with big, bad Gunter Schlierkamp. Gunter, number one. It's no secret, 2003 was a little bit of a disappointment for you. In 2002, you were the people's choice. Fifth at the Olympia, you had about a 5-minute standing ovation.
Yeah.
Came back to score a major upset over Ronnie Coleman at the GNC.
Yes.
People were thinking, this guy's Mr. Olympia in 2003. I know there were some personal problems, there were some injuries. 2003 didn't quite end the way you had hoped.
That's true. I had some changes to make in my life, and it was for me complicated because it was the first time that I was on my own. Then I had an injury, and I lost right before the Olympia in 2 weeks for 20 pounds. There was at least 15 pounds of muscle. So I couldn't be as good as I wanted to be, and that kind of messed with my head, and that's why I'm doing actually tonight. Here's Arnold's Classic. I was thinking at first do only the Olympiads this year, but I had to prove that I'm still there, and I'm back on track.
Well, I think you did. I mean, I want to compliment you. You look terrific. What are you, about 295, 300 pounds? I know everybody adds about 10 pounds. I want to bring a scale in.
I can promise you one thing. The last day I depleted on Wednesday after the workout. It was in the morning. At 12 o'clock, I was 303 pounds. After that, I start carving up. I lose some water. I might be 300, I might be 305.
But you look terrific. You're in great condition. The main thing is Gunter Schlierkamp is back.
Definitely better than ever to be before. I said it was the right choice for me to make in my life.
I certainly agree. Congratulations. You look terrific. We'll find out in a few minutes where you finish.
Okay, thank you very much.
Back to you, Joe.
Well, that was great. As we watch Gunther walk away, Gunther was very polite because I thought he was going to choke Lonnie there for a second.
You were hoping. What you thought?
No? All right, now we want to go back to earlier in the day when the judges did their work in prejudging here this afternoon, which is the chance for the judges to see everybody right away. Okay, we don't have that ready just yet. We're going to go throw it back to Lonnie Tieper backstage. Lonnie?
Here I am with Dexter Jackson, known as the Blade. You could see why he's known as the Blade. This guy is always in mint condition. Dexter, first of all, I want to congratulate you. You are the hottest bodybuilder on the planet right now. You had a terrific 2003. You had a third-place finish at the Mr. Olympia. A lot of people had you a place higher, but a couple weeks later you went to the GNC and you scored what some people say was an upset over Jay Cutler. I'm not so sure it was an upset. That could have gone either way at the Olympia. You had a big win, started 2004 on the winning track with a dominating unanimous victory at the Ironman Pro. You look terrific again tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I feel like it could have went either way between Jay Cutler and myself at the Olympia. And I just wanted to, duplicate my conditioning for the GNC, which I did. And I think by Jay going overseas and doing those other shows, it kind of burnt him out a little bit. So I was able to go home and relax for a couple weeks and prepare. So that's how I think I pulled that one off.
You know, the one thing I think that's really important, and you established it before, but it continues tonight. You are definitely among the elite in this sport now, and I think everybody has to consider Dexter Jackson is no longer a secret. Dexter Jackson's a Mr. Olympia contender.
Yes. I think that everyone has to consider me a contender now because of the hard work and dedication that I put into this. Coming up, no one thought I could ever, become one of the top guys in the world. And me, myself, I know I am. I love to prove people wrong. So
I remember when you were a bantamweight as an NPC athlete. You've come a long way, baby.
Yes. I was a bantamweight all the way up through the ranks. I was bantamweight, lightweight, middleweight, all the way up to 225 pounds now on stage. So.
Well, Dexter Jackson he may have been a bantamweight back then, but he is certainly a heavyweight on a pro stage. He's a real powerhouse. Congratulations. You look terrific again tonight. We'll find out where you place in a few minutes. Thank you, Dexter.
Thank you.
Joe, back to you.
And this portion of our coverage of the Arnold Classic 2004 is brought to you by Flex and Muscle and Fitness magazines. For more details, be sure to visit flexonline.com or muscle/fitness.com. I've got Dorian Yates with me, and Dorian, want to ask you, of course, you're six-time Mr. Olympia, what are you doing these days?
Well, I'm still very much involved in the sport. I've got my supplement company, Chemical Nutrition in Europe, and Dorian Yates approved in the US, so I'm pretty busy with that. And we promote a couple of shows as well. We do 2 pro shows in Europe, one in London, one in Amsterdam, and still running the basement pit in Birmingham, and traveling around doing promotions for the company and seminars and stuff, and most of the major shows. So I'm still pretty much involved.
Very good. Yeah, I want to visit that gym. Actually, you should make it part of a tour or something like that, you know?
Yeah, we actually got a toilet down there as well now. We've really refurbed.
That's great. All right, Dorian, let's go backstage now. Here's Lonnie with Chris Cormier.
Here I am with the guy we call the real deal, and you can tell why we call him the real deal. But Chris, seriously, I want to congratulate you. You've bounced back. I know there's been some tough times the past year or two. The Chris Cormier, or is it Cormier, however you want us to say, we're talking about a guy with Mr. Olympia potential for the last 5 years. You were third, I think Black was in 99, and we were ready. Is Chris Cormier ready to go to the next level and take the championship? Things haven't quite worked out the way you wanted, but you're definitely back now. You look terrific today.
Thank you. I've been putting everything I had into being the best bodybuilder I can be, and it just started from taking a hard loss at the GNC this year, and it just kind of woke me up, and I said, I had to do some soul searching and just figure out what I want to do with my life and with my career, and the type of person I am, I just can't lay down and just place bad until my career is out. I want to be a champion and someday be the best.
Well, most people who finish second at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic would be excited. But when you finish second 4 years in a row, that's getting kind of old. And I know tonight you want to get over that hump. And it was a tough prejudging. It looks like the battles between yourself, Jay Cutler, and Dexter Jackson. Well, how do you vision this?
I feel like, you could look at it this way. I feel like the other two closer competitors are in great condition, but not their all-time best. I feel like I'm at, if not my all-time best, I'm at least second to my all-time best. I personally think it's my personal best. And
what are you, about 255 pounds?
Yeah, 53 pounds today. And but I feel like I'm bigger and harder than I've been in quite some time. And I think that that weighs a lot more in my favor when it comes to judging. At least in my book, it would.
Okay, well, I want to say congratulations. You look terrific. I know you're a little upset at people who thought Chris Cormier was over the hill, but Chris Cormier is back as good as ever.
That's right. And I plan on, this is like the tip of the iceberg, and I plan on going and gradually getting bigger and bigger and better for the Olympia. Okay,
Chris, good luck. At the expo yesterday, we saw a lot of people, a lot of famous people. One of those famous people we saw was none other than Sylvester Stallone. We had a chance to interview Sylvester yesterday. We had a chance to look a little at his workout video and as he talks about his new supplement company, In Stone.
Into bodybuilding in 1955. She had the first female gym in Washington, D.C. called Barbella's, which is ironic. And actually, what really turned it around for me, I was very thin, is when I saw a Steve Reeves film called Hercules and Hercules Unchained, and right away I had a change in lifestyle.
Okay, Lonnie, thank you very much. We saw Sylvester Stallone there, who apparently met Arnold many years ago, and they've been friends ever since. Dorian, so what's more difficult, being on stage or doing the television?
Being on stage comes more naturally. I'm just a novice at this. You're the pro here. I was the pro on stage, so I'm just learning the ropes here.
What happens in this time now? We know who the top 6 are. You're waiting to get back on stage, and then the placings, and the winner will be announced.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of butterflies in the stomachs back there. A lot of nervous guys. I'm sure that the guys pretty much know their placing. They know their roundabouts. As Chris said, he knows who his competition is for that first place. It's going to be Dexter and Jay. They're obviously the top 3 in some order. After that, I'm looking at probably Gunter, Marcus, and Craig Titus, but you know the judges could disagree with me.
And obviously, we heard Chris talking. The guys are experts on everyone else's physiques too.
Right.
They know everyone else's physiques just as well as they do their own.
I think Chris was pretty much correct there in that it's definitely not Jay's best condition. I've seen him look better. I don't know about Dexter. I think Dexter looks very, very good, and Chris, I think, is in his best condition or near too. Maybe it could be a tad harder, but there's very little in it. So he's really come back with a bang.
All right, let's go out to the stage now as we continue with the Arnold Classic.
Thank you. It's very special. Of course, this is my third most muscular award in 3 years, so it's very special. But I want to dedicate this one to my wife because she basically trained and took care of me especially for this contest, and I want to thank her especially. So this is for you, Carrie. Thank you.
That's sweet. That's nice. Now we move on to our next special award. This one carries a cash award of $10,000. We had 5 guest judges, and I would like to bring them on stage right now. Gentlemen? I'll introduce them to you and let them step forward and give you a wave. The first gentleman, we are honored to have him here. He's been coming here year after year. He's a good friend of Governor Arnold's. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time Academy Award winner in special effects. Created all the special effects for the Terminator movies, Mr. Stan Winston. You just met our next judge, CEO of Joska Crystal of Germany, Joseph Kegerbauer. Gentleman who stages the GNC Show of Strength, ladies and gentlemen, CEO of Basic Media Group and Physical Magazine, Scott Johnson. Executive Vice President of NetJets, Peter Mirabello. And finally, especially qualified for this particular event, one of the nation's top choreographers, Sam Sedano. And the winner of the Most Entertaining Posing Award at the 2004 Arnold Classic is King Kamali. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations, King. Very cool. You don't have to. Say something.
Wow. Been waiting for this for a long time. Ever since I turned pro, I made a promise to myself and practically the whole world that I'm going to bring some excitement back. And I started it with my mouth first, but and I think it got me to a certain point, then I had to stop. But I'm glad that you guys enjoy what I do, and I do it for you. And then I just wanted to say, Jay stole my speech, but I could not have done this without my wife, Barbara, and I love you. Thank you.
He's a newlywed. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring back to the podium Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thank you, thank you. First of all, I want to again say thank you very much for all of you for being here today. I want to first just mention a few names that are in the audience. First of all, my wife, Maria Schreiber. Where's my wife sitting? Where's Maria? Why don't you get up for a second? There's my wife, Maria Schreiber, the better half of the family here. Big hand to her. And my wonderful son, Christopher, is with you. Yeah, you like the star, huh? And Patrick is there, Willie. I mean, if you have everyone. Christina. My one daughter is not here, Catherine. She's at the horseback riding show. She's winning awards back out there in Palm Springs, so she's busy. Anyway, we have also here Sylvester Stallone. Where's Sylvester Stallone? My very good friend, Sylvester Stallone. Where is he? Did we see him anywhere here? No, he's not here. Well, I saw him this afternoon. I guess he vanished just quickly. Or maybe he lost weight and we can see him. Anyway, and then also I want to say it's again great to see my hero here and his wife, Reg Park and Marion Park. Where's Reg Park and Marion Park? Let's have a big hand to Reg and Marion Park. And then, of course, I want to say again also, thank you very much to my great partner for really doing all the detailed work throughout the year, Jim Lorimer and Gene Lorimer. Big hand to Jim Lorimer and to Gene Lorimer. Gene, get up. Come on now. Come on, you can get up. Yeah, bravo. Big hand to Gene Lorimer. I also want to thank the sponsors here very quickly. Our national sponsors, I mentioned them yesterday, but I told them I will mention them every day. Even in my office in Sacramento, I will mention them every day, just so they're happy. So GNC, Weeder Publications, Hummer, Chantana, then Kingston, Medorex, Nautilus, NetJets, Physical Magazine, Pinnacle, Star Trek, Twin Lab, and VPX. Give them a big hand for all the sponsors. They make all this happening. I also want to thank the competitors. Aren't they not in great shape? Let's hear it for the competitors, huh? These great guys. They're in fantastic shape, the women and the men, extraordinary shape, really. I just also want to mention, what do you want me to take my clothes off? What do you say? Okay, no. I just want to mention briefly that there was some questions if I will show up this year because I'm not the governor of the great state of California. And I just want to say one thing. I just want to set one thing straight. It doesn't matter what I do. I've told you this so many times. It doesn't matter if I'm in the hospital, or if I'm making a movie, or if I'm the governor of the state of California. I will always come to Columbus, Ohio and show up at the Arnold Classic. That makes our mayor of Columbus, Ohio, Mayor Coleman, very happy, of course. Give him also a big hand. Here's Mayor Coleman. Mayor, please stand up also. Big hand for Mayor Coleman. This is my foundation. What would I be the day without bodybuilding? This sport meant everything to me. In politics, there's a word they use all the time. What is your base? Well, let me tell you something. This is my base here. This is my foundation. This is where I learned about discipline. This is where I learned about camaraderie. This is where I learned how to get the drive, how to visualize my goals, how to go after it relentlessly, how to have the dedication and the discipline. All of those things that are extraordinarily important to everything you do in life, I learned in bodybuilding. And this is why I will never turn my back on bodybuilding. This is why I always will be here. And let me tell you another thing, that bodybuilding has shown me a tremendous amount of generosity.
Because when I came over here to this country, first of all, it was Joe Weider who sent me an airline ticket to come over here. And he received me with open arms, got me an apartment, got me a car to drive around, let me work with the magazine. So Joe Weider has done a tremendous amount, has shown great generosity. And then the rest of the bodybuilders who brought over to my apartment when I had absolutely nothing. They brought over silverware, they brought over porcelain and plates to eat off and cups. And then one guy schlepped upstairs this huge television set. I've never had a television set at that point in my life, and they brought it to my apartment. So those are the kind of generosity that I have seen in this country. And since then, the generosity has gone on. And I've gotten endless opportunities here in this country. And so I've seen that America is in fact, the greatest country in the world with the greatest opportunities that we have. And this is why I like to give back. I like to give back. That's why I was involved with Special Olympics for so many years, with the President's Council on Fitness, with the Governor's Council on Fitness, with after-school programs and all this. And people asked me when I started running for governor, they said, why would you do that? Are you crazy? Why would you give up your salary, $30 million a movie? Why would you give up this kind of royal treatment you get, the red carpet treatment, the limos and all those kind of things? Give up all that to be governor? And I tell people, look, I wouldn't have any of that if it wouldn't be for America. Now is the time to give back. And this is why it is such a great pleasure for me now to be a public servant and to give back. Thank you. Thank you. Now what is important is, because let me tell you something, it is very, very important that we don't just think about how much can we get, because in the end we will be judged by how much we give. And so this is why it is very important for all of you, and I want to challenge all of you to go out and do exactly that. There's so much that we give here in bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is the greatest sport in the world. We have a lot to offer. This incredible knowledge about nutrition, incredible knowledge about training. Those who own gymnasiums, open up your gymnasiums to maybe Special Olympians, people that are mentally handicapped, that have no money. Now open it up in the hours where there's not much business. Let them come into the gymnasium. Or those who are experts in training and in bodybuilding, go out to do after-school programs, coach kids, be mentors to kids. There's so many things that we can do. You should go to bed, and before you go to bed every night, you should just look in the mirror and ask yourself the simple question: have I done enough for my community? Have I reached out enough? Have I given back enough to my community, to my state, and to my country? That's the question you should ask yourself. I think that we have a great potential here. Imagine the amount of people that are involved in bodybuilding. I have seen it firsthand, the power they have. I know that from the box office successes I have had in my movie career. They were the first ones in line. They created the big box office success and all this. I've seen it again with this last election for governor, how the bodybuilders hung up the posters in the gymnasium. They went out campaigning for me. That's what you call base. Well, that's the kind of power that we have in bodybuilding, and you can have a tremendous impact in our country. So I want to challenge all of you. Give back as much as you can to your community and to your country. It's worth it. It feels great to do that, let me tell you. And if you continue doing that, then I'll be back. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We are honored to have him as our spokesperson. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, how about it for Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger? How many people want to find out who won this contest? All right, let's bring our finalists back out on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Dexter Jackson, Gunther Schlierkamp, Jay Cutler, Chris Cormier, Marcus Rule, Craig Titus. To present the trophy from Twin Lab, Tom Doyle. And to present the check for 6th place in the amount of $6,000 from Jan Tanna. Jan Tanna? Right to them, and then on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, 6th place tonight, Craig Titus. Congratulations, Craig. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Tom. To present the trophy for 5th place from Nautilus, Frank Cheatham. And presenting the check of $11,000 from Columbus Dispatch, Jim Baldini. 5th place tonight, Marcus Rule, 5th place.
Titus 6th, Marcus 5th. We're down to the final 4.
Congratulations, Marcus. Yep. Thank you, Frank.
That's
Thank
pretty
you,
much
Jim.
how I saw it so far. And, I've got a funny feeling that there's
To present the
another big
trophy
German guy
for
going to
4th
be
place from Star Trek, Kevin Farley. And presenting
Here's
a
the
check
4th
of
place award.
$25,000 from VPX, Jack Owak and All Met Victoria. Coming in 4th place tonight, Gunther Schlierkamp, 4th place.
So 4th goes to Gunther. And that leaves Dexter, Jay, and Chris.
That's where it gets tough. It's hard to separate these three.
Thank you, gentlemen. Presenting the trophy for 3rd place from Metrics, Marshall Post. Presenting the check of $35,000 from Pinnacle Bodionics, Tatiana Anderson. Coming in 3rd place tonight, Dexter Jackson.
Wow.
That's a surprise. A lot of people had Dexter winning the show.
So Dexter 3rd. I had him winning the show.
Yeah, I had him. I had him winning the show
after prejudging.
Yeah, between him and Chris. Yeah.
And there are Jay Cutler and Chris Cormier, the last 2. They were the last 2 a year ago.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And the year before that.
It's going to be pretty close. Chris did look better this evening than he did this morning, which could have made a difference.
Separated 1st and 2nd place. 1
Here's
point.
the 2nd place award. Here's
Coming
Clint.
in, presenting the trophy for 2nd place from Physical Magazine, David Hawk. Presenting a check for $55,000 from NetJets, Peter Mirabillo. Coming in 2nd place tonight, Chris Cormier.
Holy cow.
It was another surprise.
5 years in a row, he's been 2nd place here.
I think Chris felt that once Dexter was out of the way, that he maybe had it in the bag there.
That is unbelievable. So Jay Cutler is the Arnold Classic champion for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of surprised people out there because Jay was not really in his best shape tonight.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations, Chris. Presenting the trophy of
And
champion
here's the first
from
place
GNC,
trophy
Greg
and check
Henry.
award.
Presenting the check of $100,000 from Weeder Publications, David Pecker. Presenting the award of the Hummer, Nancy Kaza from Hummer. And a special Terminator 3 watch from Biochem Iron Tech, Ryan Drexler. And from Audemars Piguet, Francois Benamias. Ladies and gentlemen, also presenting the trophy for champion, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the champion of the 2004 Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, Jay Cutler.
And there's the great shot with Arnold. That's something you can put in your
That's
scrapbook.
been taken a couple of times before. Arnold and Jay together with that trophy.
He's going to join the cabinet in California there if this keeps up. Arnold, of course, will interview Jay on stage. As soon as the check is exchanged.
He's getting exactly the same Audemars Piguet watch as I have, the Terminator 3 watch. Wait a minute. I thought I'm the only one that has that one. Well, you are Terminator. Congratulations. Jay, let's hear it. How do you feel after the third victory of the Arnold Classic?
I don't know. What time is it? I feel great, actually, and thanks again, Arnold, Mr. Lormer, for putting on a great contest, and, of course, my award presenters here tonight. Boy, 3 times feels pretty special, and I couldn't have done it all without my support team, Muscle Tech, Chic, Flex, AMI Publishing. All you guys have been great in supporting me, and, of course, can't forget all my fans out there that came out to Columbus this weekend. And my family who drove out from Massachusetts, of course. Where are you guys? I love you guys. My wife over here and all my good friends. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I will be back for number 4 next year.
Thank you very much, Jay. Congratulations. Big hand to Jay Cutler. Congratulations.
We're going to take
the Arnold Classic.
We're going to take some photos.
Goes to Jay Cutler.
Gentlemen,
3
would you like to come
years
next to our
in
winner,
a
our
row,
champion?
and he sets himself up once again for a big year in 2004. No doubt he'll have his eyes on the Mr. Olympia contest to be held in October in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. There we get the top 6 competitors on stage for their group shot. Many of these shots you'll see in the various magazines around the world.
While we're taking photos, ladies and gentlemen,
our
we
coverage.
would like to say thank you to our international television audience. Thank you very much.
Our coverage of
And
the
thank you to all of you.
2004 Arnold Classic has been brought to you by Flex and Muscle and Fitness magazines. For more details, be sure to visit flexonline.com or muscle-fitness.com. For Dorian Yates. Dorian, it was great working with you.
Thank you. We can do it again.
We'll have to do it again. For Dorian Yates, I'm Joe Amato in Columbus, Ohio. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.